Hello students, I'm Mr. Ferguson and these are your TV news production terms. So pay attention, you're going to learn something cool. Our TV news production terms can be found on our Schoology page. Of course, our Schoology page is a living, breathing thing where the terms can be found in DTV vocab, and it says DTV news vocab there, but it might not be in that exact spot when it's your turn to go do that because we are always adding and removing things from our Schoology account. And so here we go. Let's start with ENG reporting. ENG reporting stands for electronic news gathering. It is the process of reporting events and activities that occur outside the TV studio. This ENG reporting was done at the Turf to show Powder Puff. And these are our 2019 Powder Puff champions. They were pretty excited about that. And so we left the studio to get this story and collect footage from this event. Our next term is soundbite, a short videotape segment, usually 2 to 5 seconds long, in which the audio and video portions of the tape remain in sync, meaning you can see the person who is talking and you can hear the person who is speaking on camera. Here is a soundbite example.
It's been a ton of fun. We had 3 practices. They were all like an hour long. We spent our Saturdays together for 3 weeks.
So in this soundbite example, we have Amanda being interviewed, and we can see Amanda and we can hear Amanda. There is no cutaway at this point to B-roll or any narration, so that's what makes it a soundbite. The next term is called stand-up, and that refers to when the reporter is seen on camera making statements or presenting information about a topic. So when you see the reporter speaking, you can see him and hear him. The more accurate definition is a stand-up over a soundbite. A soundbite comes from the interviewee.
The Powder Puff tradition continues here at DHS with an 8-team tournament.
For this stand-up example, we have Drake Hadley giving the intro to his project, to his ENG report, and he decided to use the stand-up as his intro instead of narration. The rule of threes. This rule states that the audio and video segments should be grouped in threes, changing the format and style of the segment rapidly between narration, interviews, and stand-up. This technique is used to keep the audience engaged so that the audience doesn't get bored with long narration, long interviews, long stand-up, but blending the 3 of them together quickly and rapidly can make the difference in keeping your audience in a newscast.
The Powder Puff tradition continues here at DHS with an 8-team tournament.
Powder Puff consisted of an 8-team round-robin tournament involving both the junior and senior classes. The senior green team and the junior gray team went to the championship game, with the senior team winning the 2019 Powder Puff Invitational. It was a fantastic evening with great football and even better sportsmanship.
So this Powder Puff segment is a good example of using the rule of threes, where they're switching between the stand-up, the narration, and then the interviews, keeping the viewer entertained. Moving on to our next 3 terms, we start with Talking Heads. Not just an awesome band from the 80s, Talking Heads refers to bus shots of people giving comments and opinions about the event or activity that is the focus of the report. The reporter is not seen on camera, and sometimes the question is not heard either, only the guest's response. Here's an example, using picture-in-picture.
Rudolph, favorite. Least favorite, Prancer.
My favorite reindeer is probably Vixen, and my least favorite is Rudolph. I feel like he's a little overrated.
The lead-in, the first few sentences of the script that establish the setting and events of the news story, introduces the topic to the viewer, and last, tag. Tag is a standard format for the final sentence of the script, ending the report. Identifies the reporter by name. Sorry, that's the bell. Identifies the reporter by name and station affiliation. Here is a lead-in and tag example.
The ASL National Honor Society is inducting 15 students into the National Honor Society today. Let's take a peek in.
Thank you to everyone who helped make this event very successful. This is Kyle Savory signing off for Dragon TV.
Up next is B-roll, extra footage that isn't the primary shot, used for montages, backgrounds, and cutaways. The B-roll, in my opinion, is what separates a good project from a great project. Here are some great B-roll examples.
The Duxbury Dragons football team is a wildly successful program, winning 12 straight Patriot League titles and winning 5 Super Bowls since coach Dave Mameron took over the program in 2005, making their 6th Super Bowl appearance against Springfield Central on Saturday, December 7th. The Dragons hit the turf at Gillette Stadium, prepared for a test that some would argue was the toughest in program history. Springfield Central is the defending D3 champions and returned to the Super Bowl with one of the strongest teams in the state.
So as you can see with the Super Bowl example, that when you go to an event and you're trying to collect images, B-roll images for your stories, you're looking to follow the game, of course, but also have your B-roll help you tell the full extent of the story of the event, where you're filming the participants and you're filming the crowd and you're filming the location itself and combining all that footage to help you tell your story. With these next two definitions, no need for visual examples here. Just breakdown at the end of a shoot. The camera disassembles all lights, cameras, and audio equipment. And of course, for our breakdowns, we got to make sure that we put things back correctly and sanitize what we need to sanitize before we move on to our next blocks. In dailies, the footage shot by the end of each working day. So sometimes we share our dailies when we come back from filming so that we can see what we accomplished. And these will be our final 5 terms for part 1 of TV news production. So, location scout, cool job. A person responsible for finding the necessary locations for a project, as well as securing permits, negotiating location agreements and rentals, and obtaining all other permission required for filming. So our location scouts work for the studio, and they look at the script, and they try to find the best possible locations for them to do their filming. And then once they agree on that particular location, they work out the logistics of making that production happen there. It's a cool job. Up next is the magic hour, and I definitely have some video examples of magic hour. The definition is twilight or dusk, a limited time between sunset and dark, when the light has a special luminescent quality that is ideal for certain shots. Also based on the angle of the sun, there's really long, drawn-out shadows as well. It's just a beautiful time to be taking pictures or video outdoors. Outstanding, the magic hour. Let's check out some examples. It's some of my favorite shots. Definitely a nice sunset with this picture, but I think my favorite part of it is just the way the sun hits the building, the skyscraper there. Gorgeous. Musical clearance. Written legal permission to use pre-existing music in a project. Whenever you use copyright material, you need to get musical clearance from me. I need to make sure it's appropriate for your project. And of course, we don't broadcast anything in which we use copyright material. We use all royalty-free material for our broadcasts. Narration, a voiceover provided by an off-camera person who records a script at a recording studio. And pitch, selling an idea for a show to a network, client, independent producer, or other end user. When we establish a project that we're working on, it's important that you come up with a unique concept with your group, and you have to pitch that concept to me, the teacher, so that I can prove it, make sure it's school appropriate, make sure that you're going in the right direction. And once that is pitched and accepted, then it's time to start your pre-production. and that's it. Those are our TV news production terms. Make sure you study for the test. And these terms are used regularly in the field of video production. So while we talk video production, let's use these terms in our vocabulary. Thank you very much and enjoy your day.